Everybody, welcome back to Off the Wall. I'm Mike. Today I'm talking about episode 3 of The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Still a far too long title for a show. So I really liked the first two episodes of this show. I thought they were very good, very interesting. Episode 3 I thought was kind of dull. I'm just going to be very upfront about it. It's not that it's bad. It's just not a whole lot is accomplished. We get introduced to more characters. We're introduced to kind of the world of men, the world of humans at this point, and it's very exposition heavy, very lore heavy, but in a way where they tell instead of show. And I'm a big believer in show don't tell, especially when I know they spent the kind of money on this show that they did. I prefer to be shown and not told. This episode felt like they were trying to be Game of Thrones, which is a weird thing to say when you consider that Game of Thrones was absolutely inspired by Lord of the Rings. But I digress. This one felt like it was trying to be an episode of Game of Thrones. It was very wrapped up in the kind of in sort of like the socio-political worlds of parts of the human world. I can't talk today. Very little actual story is told. The Harfoots, I mean, I'm pretty sure the whole of this episode takes place over the course of like a day, maybe, because the stuff with the Harfoots is moves very little time forward. Everything with Galadriel takes place probably over the course of I think a few hours, and everything that we get introduced to with the humans, in particular, Isildur is introduced. Yeah, it takes place over the course of like from an evening to like the middle of the next day, and so it felt like this felt like filler. And when it's a 10 episode season, there's not a lot of room for filler. I know we got a lot of characters and a lot of story to tell, but I feel like we kind of got lost in that a little bit this week. There is a neat action sequence involving some elves who are at like an elf prison camp being run by a bunch of orcs. And the orcs, I will say, looked cool. The orcs, like, you remember how good the makeup and practical prosthetics were for the orcs in the original Peter Jackson movies? Like, it was that level good. It was really good. The orcs were really done well. I will say the look was great. The sound of their voices was great. Just how freaking evil and nasty they are was really great. That sequence was neat. I don't know where it's going because we end on kind of a cliffhanger with that storyline where we're being introduced to the master of whoever's running this camp, but we can't really see who it is because it's blurry. And let's be honest, we don't know who these people are anyway. But beyond that, not a lot's accomplished. Not much is really accomplished at all. I think there's some very good acting moments from Galadriel, particularly when we're dealing with some of the things she's learning. It's kind of about her trying to learn some more about this sigil that she keeps seeing, figuring out that Sauron might actually be back or trying to come back. We're not sure yet, but again, it's hard to say because there's so much that goes on in this episode from a like a philosophical standpoint. It's a lot of metaphors and philosophy and history, and not a lot of just moving the story forward. There's not a lot of moments. There's no real moments of like growth or development for any of these characters. They're all just kind of put in a scenario and they deal with said scenario. And then that's just kind of the long and short of it. I don't have a whole lot else to say about this episode, which feels kind of crummy because it's over an hour long, and I don't want this to be a super short review. But I neither really liked nor disliked this episode. It just kind of felt meh to me. It just felt very middle of the road. Again, not a whole lot happens, not a whole lot's accomplished, and I'm 3 episodes into a 10 episode season. I kind of want to start seeing some ideas for what our plot for this season is going to be. I know we're telling the history of Middle Earth and Sauron's rise to power, but I haven't seen much of that yet. We've seen a sigil, we've seen a troll get its head split open, and we've seen a shipwreck, and that's kind of it. The stuff with the dwarves was still by far my favorite in episode 2, but I really was hoping for more from this episode, because for me the first 2 were pretty strong. So I'm here till the end. Soul is still getting caught up on it. We were watching a lot of stuff, guys, and it's D23 this weekend. So good Lord. But this episode left me wanting for more, but not in a good way. Like, it didn't have me going, oh, I want more of this. It had me going, I kind of want there to be more of this show before I can decide if I'm like it or not. Because the first 2 episodes, I was like, okay, I'm in. But now after episode 3, I'm like, am I still in? I might not still be in, guys. Give me some more. There's a lot of competition right now, because between this and House of the Dragon, She-Hulk is on right now. There's a lot more stuff coming here soon. You really got to stand out, because there's a lot to go up against, and you've got 2 sword and shield fantasy shows running at the same time that started in the same week as each other, give or take. So that's big competition. So yeah, I don't have much else to say. I know this is a short review, and it's just me too, but that's kind of, I think, part of the problem is that is a testament to how much nothing really happens in this episode. It's a lot of, hey, did you know about this thing? Let's talk about this thing, rather than just showing it happen. So yeah, I'm gonna watch it next week. I'm gonna watch the whole thing, but give me something, guys, because we're 3 in. We're almost to the halfway point. Let's get there, and let's get there strong. So, but hey, let me know what you guys thought. Go down in the comments. Let me know on Twitter. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, hit our notification bell so you know when we're dropping new stuff. Like I said, D23 is this weekend. We have so many things coming. Good Lord. So check it all out. We'll see you guys here again next time on Off the Wall. Bye.